Hello and welcome to ZSR and another D2R standard tournament match. We have Ellendar versus homerjsmash in Group B, and we have Star and Frosty on commentary. Take it from here, you two.
Hey there, welcome to another match of the first week of our 2021 standard tournament. This is actually the first match of Group A here. It is a group of 5 doing round robin. So matches here will continue to go on for a few weeks. We have 6 groups total, most of which have 5 players, a few have 4. Top 2 will advance to a double elimination bracket, so good to get a leg up early if you can. What do you think of these two guys, Star?
Should be an interesting one. Ellendar is a seasoned veteran who's been around for multiple tournaments. Homer's new to the Zelda 2 rando community, but I remember him distinctly from the Zelda 1 community. I think he's around in other randomizers as well. Should be interesting to see how this goes. I think this might actually be Homer's first CSR restream.
Wow, well, congratulations to him on the occasion of that. And as you can see on the tracker, the runners did opt to take a candle start here. So, no navigating dark caves today.
Nope, this is the group's 2 flag set, so mixed enemies, but start with candles, so fairly nice. Let's see how this goes, because, I mean, so much. Let's see what the map is, because that's one of the biggest things of Z2R is what did the rando give them in terms of a map today?
Yeah, sometimes it's nice and navigable, sometimes you're gonna need to find hammer and other items like that relatively quickly, but here we go.
Yep, we're off, and we're starting on the northern coast, okay. Looks to be pretty open-ended, that good indicator this is a vanilla-like biome.
Oh, and here's a palace already.
Yep, P3 or 6. This is pretty open, and in Vanilla Lake is basically the version of the map rando you're familiar with from one of
the 2 ends of Parapa Cave.
They might have been, yeah. Bridge to Death Mountain. I think, no, that's Bridge to the East. It looks like, yeah, that's a bridge to the east here in the middle of the west.
I was going to say these are fairly overpowered moblins, but then again, we're still on attack 1.
Yeah.
And not really worth it for the experience either.
No, we've got Rauru right next to another town. Ellendar's just gonna go and pick it up right away. Alright, thank you for the reminder, Slamo. I was looking in a different direction. Guma sits on the raft, good to know. Not necessarily required, but with continental connectors being anything goes, but it could still turn up to be required. And yeah, true from some with it. Yeah, one of the flags in the standard tournament, as Homer finds a magic jar, is that, and Ellendar gets life, is that connector caves go in the direction you think they go in. So, and both those caves did point down, so those were different caves.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that during our pre-race chat about flags. And we've got Roto here, which has Reflect in it game.
Guess we will be finding the trophy at some point.
Yep, so Ellendar's gonna go check for the hint. Rubenak, okay.
P3 for the trophy. Ooh, nice 200-point P-bag there for Homer.
Yeah, that is a splintered raft of Guma sitting on it, true to hell. Alright, King's Tomb, Gumi's to find the flute. That's a couple giant lakes there just sitting in the middle, and here's the pass-through to the southern half of the continent. Really
And
distinctive. Yeah, go ahead.
Homer's trying to harvest red Dyras, but at attack 2, it doesn't take too, and life 2, it doesn't take too many hits, and okay, he's given up on it, saved and quit.
Ellendar's now in this item key, which I believe was a magic jar that Homer found earlier.
I think so.
Yeah, so distinctive feature of the Vanilla Lake biome is that there's two pretty distinctive halves to the continent, typically, occasionally thirds. And they're separated by like 1 or 2 very narrow paths. We've seen that already, so they'll want to take that eventually, but they're going to clear out the northern half first.
And as you said, a magic jar. And as usual, enemy experience can be shaded up or down by up to 2 notches. Ooh, and we find a second jar at Stonehenge.
Not bad to find. Stonehenge, just south of the halfway through from the north. There's Fairy in Saria, which is in the northeastern part of the southwestern part of the map, I suppose. Ellendar is...
We can ferry across the gap. Don't need to talk to Bagu or anything.
True. Convenient. Cross and west, thank you. There's a hint for that. Ellendar's here in the east now. Yeah, the other issue though is that fairy castable is a problem.
Well, 2 magic jars makes it more likely.
Yeah, 75 is indeed castable. Neat. This east is not paying. Alright, no, that is the west. I got lost. That's at the bridge to Death Mountain. I think, yeah, I've just managed to get thoroughly turned around by the map as per the usual, but yeah, this, the southern half of the western continent is split by a very large lake today. Good thing they have ferry to get across the Asari to get to the southeastern portion of the continent, since the southwestern and southeastern portions are apparently quite separate.
But apparently all the towns are in the northern part.
Apparently, no, Nido's in the...
We just stepped slightly south from Saria to get to Mido.
Yeah, so none of the towns are in the southeast part of the map, but there's probably a palace down in that corner.
Well, there were 2 palaces within sight of Mido, actually.
Huh, curious.
You'll see when Homer walks out of there are 2 palaces right there. It's pretty crazy.
Gotta love the Randu sometimes. I'm gonna get the hint for the medicine, if nothing else, so he knows where not to look later. Well, medicine, maze, okay. Might run into it anyway. Okay, yeah, so both palaces were also, yep, here, yeah, low. So yeah, the eastern half can only have, eastern half can only have a P4 and P5. Can only have a couple caves, which might be required, but nothing else. Since we've seen all the palaces and all the towns. Who's winning? No one. Who's the odds favorite? Ellendar's definitely the more experienced of these 2 runners, but Homer's doing pretty well this seed. Has gotten a lot more exploration done than Ellendar here in the south.
I mean,
so
Homer has Fairy and Downstab. Those are 2 big things to have.
Yeah, they are. And Ellendar just hasn't even gone south yet, which is in and of itself a bit of an issue. Ellendar does have good levels. Yeah, they're really everywhere.
Hey, that's a pretty nice 500 point P bag.
Yeah, not bad. Ellendar has taken that fairy cave down on over to the southeastern part of the continent, it looks like. That has to be where he is. There's a couple hammer blocked caves in here. It's otherwise very barren as expected. Here's Trophy Cave. Two hammer blocked caves and this. Zo, no, we don't have a slammer command. And it's a heart container, well, you won't say no to it.
Especially given how many Dyras are out and about.
Yeah, exactly. It is possible we might need to dig P5. We've seen one of P3 or 6, and and P4 is an option for the item. If it turns out to be P3 here in the west, we could end up needing to dig that out for the trophy to go get Reflect to do Karok for all we know. We do have a continental connector to Death Mountain, which looks to be our only way off the western continent today, apparently.
Well, unless we dig the raft out of P5, though I don't know if we even saw a raft dock.
I don't believe we have seen a raft tile as Ellendar finds the cross. I mean, I guess you're already right here. No real reason to not pick it up. Homer's in Saria now. Gonna go head on to where Ellendar is and find the cross he hurt in a couple hammer block caves.
Gee, at attack 3, the enemies sure go down a lot faster.
Yeah, attack 3 being pretty good today. Yeah, we'll look to see what the Death Mountain connections are. I'm not quite sure what the Death Mountain biome was. I didn't get a good look at it earlier. I couldn't tell if it was even Death Mountain or the east, but I think it was Death Mountain. Ellendar needs to figure out how to get to the southwest corner of the continent, because this southeast is pretty useless. It's always fun, the vanilla-like biomes, when they're... because they do have a... usually they're split into halves and sometimes quadrants, a bit more like this. And Ellendar, unfortunately, is stuck on the wrong side of Saria. Can't get ferry to get across, so it's back up north he goes.
Yeah, and hopefully he will find that wealth of towns and get his ferry and downstep. Ooh, there are the boots. Nice. That could make it easy.
No, never mind. Doesn't need to do that. Doesn't need to go up north. He's just gonna go across the lake now. Neat. And Homer gets them at almost the same time, but Homer's already done that part of the continent. Yeah, those boots are going to make the west a bit easier. The southern portion of the west easier to navigate. Ellendar looking at that half of Saria and noping right on out.
But I'm sure he's happy to see Fairy there. Oh, and Homer going down this hole that I don't think we saw on Ellendar's side.
No, that's how Ellendar got here.
Right, we saw it from the other side.
Ellendar got down here by taking this pass-through from the other direction. Let's just take Homer back up north. That's very for Ellendar, but at this point it's either go dig Death Mountain for connectors or start looking in your palaces.
Wow, Fairy's down to 39 at Magic 3.
Oh, that is nice. With 6 magic jars available, that is 130. Yeah, that's 132 points.
Wait. Oh, there's 6 magic jars available?
Well, Homer has 4. The Ellendar, I think, just found... Homer's got 6. Ellendar, I think, should...
you mean 6 total, including the 4 starting? I thought you were saying on top.
Yeah. Sorry.
So that should just be 96 then.
6 times... Yeah, that's 96, so that's 2 casts. For some reason, I had a math fail. Anyway.
That's why I was getting confused. I was like, oh, 132? Are there extra magic jars?
No, wait. No, that's me having a brain fart. It's fine. Ellendar is just making absolutely sure to scour every square inch of this continent to make sure he hasn't missed a continental connector somewhere, because that has happened before. But no, this quest is pretty, like, everything's close together today. Going to pick up downstab and possibly get the hint for medicine. Unfortunately today it is in the Maze Island, which doesn't tell them much, so they're still gonna look in Maze Island for the other item and the palace anyway, so there's a solid chance they run into the medicine. Sometimes if you know that the spell item is useless, you can get the hint and know where not to dig an item out of, but no such luck today.
So we've gotten close to exhausting West Hyrule. What are the chances that our the connector that we need is on Death Mountain?
It's 100% it's on Death Mountain. The question is whether or not we can access it. We've seen every square inch of this west. They have to go through Death Mountain for the other for Continental Connector. The issue is what type of Continental Connector, Drosy?
As in raft versus cave?
Raft versus cave or bridge, correct?
Well, if it's
They
raft,
can
we
do
know.
cave or bridge. If it's raft, they need to go dig out P5. Yeah.
Ooh, second heart container. And Homer still hasn't gotten any heart containers besides the ones he started with.
Yeah, it happens. Hey, one of these fun rooms. Community room is immediately turning up. That one's from the Winter Solstice hack, that's supposed to be snow, by the way, those curtains, but indoors and without the hack, it just ends up looking like curtains. Those are some modified textures in the Winter Solstice hack. Ellendar finding palaces 4 and 5. I am not sure why he's heading back to the southeast.
I don't know, maybe he doesn't think he's checked.
Every square inch of the continent quite enough?
Where's he going now?
P5,
Okay.
I mean,
He's
might as
going
well.
for the raft, okay.
Go for the raft, go for Guma, might as well. Guarantee you can get to that, you can use that connector in Death Mountain. Homer, in the meantime, has found, Revo.
And we know the trophy was the P3 item, right?
Correct. So, Homer's gonna dig that out of here, assuming it's not glove blocked.
Definitely.
Yeah, this is a very offensively bright pinkish purple on Ellendar's side. Little bit much, I'll admit, and the purple, well, it's pink, the actual bricks are pink, the background's purplish, which is, with the really tiny, vertical bricks, which is not helping. That's a really unfortunate, appearance for this one.
So Homer, not too surprisingly, given the large gap to the next level, is going to take his crystal fill up here. Probably up A and go back from the start, yep.
Yep, makes sense. Ellendar is plugging through P5. I much prefer this neutral gray here on Homer's to the obnoxiously pink shade of that P5 has got going today, but rando gonna be the rando sometimes.
Oof, look at that one hit from Guma, took down 5 life bars.
Ouch. Also, attack 3 Guma, not the nicest.
And especially...
I mean, I guess yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, with its health randomized, who knows how much health it's even starting with and how long before we see its life meter go down at all.
Guma definitely looks to have rolled up. Even on attack 3, this is quite a bit.
Yeah, what's the most they can start with? 12 bars?
Probably. I don't actually remember. There we go, 1 bar off. But yeah, that Guma rolled up in health.
Yeah, and inconveniently, life is 49 magic points, so you just barely can't cast it twice.
Yeah. It is 1.2 expensive.
Oh, and
on
he's just
6
a
magic checks.
glutton for punishment here. Despite being really close to a level, it would not take more grinding for him to get something.
It wouldn't be attack 4, though. It would be magic 4, maybe life 5, neither of which would do a lot, to be honest. Most likely.
I don't know. If magic 4 dropped the cost of life.
Maybe, that is true.
Well, that was a very large throw of the mace there. It looked like he was out of range and he got hit anyway.
Hitboxes are fun. Yeah, this is a long and slow Guma fight. Oh, long and slow. Duh, long and difficult Guma fight. Homer's beating up a bubble for a smidge of experience. Actually, that's not too bad. 70 for a bubble. That's life 4.
Just think, the Japanese only had to deal with the second horse head here.
Oh yeah, I forget Guma's was not in the Japanese version of the game. I mean, Ellendar wants that raft. He knows both of them have to know at this point that Death Mountain has to have their Continental Connector. Oof! And there's a solid chance that Continental Connector, they need some raft tiles, so
wow.
I get...
Ellendar's...
beating... Yes.
I'm just amazed that he's not trying to get 50 more XP for something.
Yeah, I honestly might have. There's quite a few... Experience has been fairly generous this seed. But I can see why he's here in any case. This, Guma, I think, was fairly early. Or at least there's a decent chance the items behind it. In any case, this is a gem, and you do want the raft out of here in case that Continental Connector is a raft tile.
Yeah, it's just such a buffed up Guma, though.
Really is. This Guma's not fun.
Meanwhile, I guess, Homer is still exploring P3.
Yep. Yeah, update a little bit earlier. Still looking for that trophy. Does not want to leave here without it.
Irene in chat commenting that Zelda 1's Ganon is weaker than Guma.
Yeah, at least for the moment. It takes less hits than this Guma.
I mean, Ganon with wooden sword in Z1 takes fewer hits than this Guma.
Yeah. Both things take less hits than this Guma.
And this is gonna be like 30 hits by the time we're done.
Something like that, yeah, this is pretty bad. There we go.
Ew.
That took a while, but that's nicely done. Yeah, that was in fact Magic 4. Unfortunately, Life 7 is only at 20 points more. Oof. That's a death for Homer, because he doesn't have enough magic to cast, Fairy. Because Fairy is still 75 points on Magic 2. And, okay.
Okay, so Ellendar's just got take
4.
Attack 4 from the crystal.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the way Ellendar's been leveling, there's just not gonna get too much out of experience out of here, but he also doesn't need a lot of experience as showcased by that Guma fight.
He takes another lava bath.
Yes, this P3 is being rude to Homer. To be fair, I don't remember if we've seen any potential glove blocks, so I don't know if that might be a concern.
So weird seeing the weak Stalfos in P5, even though, yeah, that's kind of how it works. Okay, so Ellendar hit that dead end. He is Oh, he's out altogether. I thought he was gonna go back for the raft.
No, I think he is leaving for now. I'm not sure if he ran into a glove lock or what he did why, but he's gonna go see if that connector is available. And I understand that choice at this point. Oh, this is a canyon death mountain, is what I missed earlier. So this isn't too bad since they have boots. If he didn't have boots, this death mountain would suck. But with boots, this is pretty nice. Because most caves are accessible.
Canyon's just the name of the biome with water in the middle.
Yeah, it can also be a dried up river. Dried canyons are some of the nicest biomes in existence because you can just walk through everything because the water's gone. Oh, there's another bridge actually. They're on the southern end of the continent, or at least either a bridge or no, that's a bridge, just a regular bridge, not a continental connector. Couldn't tell. But yeah. Out there is that. Okay, bridges.
Oh, here's one of them. Cave.
Hey, nice and accessible. But yeah, canyons are just you have a river or a dried up river. You can tell it's a dried canyon because there are just bridges in the middle of just dry land. Drosy is how you can tell a dried canyon biome. It's just bridges in the middle of nowhere and it's extremely open. Regular canyons are great with boots and suck without. Dried canyons are just the nicest thing in the world.
Well, fortunately, we did get
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Homer did get the trophy out of P3. I missed that.
Yeah, we were looking at Ellendar's Death Mountain, so that's good. That trophy was not glove blocked. And the Hammer Cave item is just a pea bag, unfortunately, for Ellendar.
And for all the divers we've had everywhere else, it's just gorillas guarding it in Hammer Cave.
And the pea bag wasn't even all that big either, unfortunately.
Well, it's enough that he's probably gonna want to grind out the next level here.
I would expect so. He's only 105 points off, and experience has been pretty generous this seed. In any case, he's gonna go on off to that bridge here and see where that takes him. Homer's going for a walk, trying to see if there's a connector, which does not exist. You need to take that Death Mountain, Homer. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You have seen every current west for sure by now. Oh, okay, that is not, that is... Oh, there's a cave to the east, and I apparently got confused. Okay, no, that's just a cave to Death, another part of Death Mountain. I've gotten... No, that is a cave to the east, which is another canyon, which is why I've gotten really lost. Alright.
And here's Old Casuto. Wow.
Okay,
no, I was just gonna say, canyon biome in the east is definitely confusing.
Yeah, going from a canyon to a canyon. Sorry, there were no bridge connectors. That was a, no, that was a cave connector, and there may have been a raft tile as well there, but I'm apparently really bad with that today, so, canyon biomes mess with my brain. But that is, yeah, Old Casuto with Dash in the middle of the western coast.
And Naboru has Jump, and Ellendar doesn't even want it.
It doesn't really need it. I have no idea what palace that was there, just that it was orange. Yeah, P-Bag should be enough to get that magic 5. Or no, gonna skip it to go for attack 5, I think, yeah.
Yeah, it was so generous that he figured might as well grind out another 200.
Yeah, Homer's gonna go deck out P4, kill Karok, and probably find the item here, I'd expect. Ellendar, in the meantime, is finding here, in this item cave. Let's see. Just another P-Bag. Well, yeah, the palace goes have not been the nicest. I did not catch what palace was there in the south. Near, New Casuto. Not New Casuto, near Naboru for, Ellendar.
this P4 that Homer's in now?
Yes.
Oh, right, Wizrobes. Yeah. And we knew P4 was there, and he just got Reflect, and... Ooh, wow, Wizrobes are leaving 200 today. That is nice.
Yes. P2 there on the southern edge of the eastern coast, for Ellendar. And that was P1 there, south of Nibiru. Also orange is slightly mildly less offensive shade of orange, I think, but yeah. Yeah, so canyon biomes, everything just, if you have boot, so regular canyon biomes, not the dried ones, they're either fantastic with boots because everything's super accessible, like you can tell with this Death Mountain in this east, or if you don't have boots, you get to deal with
what's this town up here? I don't think we've seen this one.
No, because Ellendar hasn't been this far up north. Oh, Thunder is child-locked today, Blairg.
Well, guess we'll be getting the hint about where the child is.
Yep. For all we know, Homer's going to find the child in this P4.
But first things first, get our upstab. Oh, and hammer.
Oh, that could be good, because we know there are 2 hammer-blocked caves in the southeastern portion of the west. Now, the only thing is, with a regular canyon biomes, it can be actually kind of difficult to find where the Valley of Death is, because there's not a lot of room for valleys of death. I wonder where this one will end up. And Horsehead has the child.
So, we just saw P1. Might be a good time to go there.
Probably, yes. Water tile here for Ellendar as Homer does in fact go to turn in that hammer. That's just another P bag, ouch, on the water tile for Ellendar. River Devil, as per the usual, not really doing its job.
Guess we don't really need the flute.
Oh, seriously? There's another cave?
Rock, so we might need the flute there.
There's another cave to Death Mountain there in the east, lol.
Hey, and we can get in here with 6 or fewer magic containers. Oh, and there's the flute, okay.
Yeah.
We'll see what's a 3-eyed rock then.
Yeah, this is going to be spell here for Ellendar. Convenient, can check the other item. Hope we're not finding anything behind the hammer, unfortunately. Ellendar can full clear Nukasudo in one trip.
L's pretty expensive today. It was 65 at Magic Level 4.
Oof.
And that evens up the heart container count. Oh, as Ellendar gets his 7th magic container.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, alright, we've finally gotten all the way to the top of this canyon biome. I'm a little curious where, there's a 3-eyed rock, by the way, there, and then up there. We do know that 3-eyed rock cannot be in a palace or a town, because we haven't seen Valley of Death yet, and we've seen all the towns. Might be the desert tile, I think, under there, though, which could have a glove or something. As Homer finds his hammer. hammer or something.
Wait, did we see 2 palaces in the east already?
We have seen 2, yes. P1
Oh.
and P2.
Oh, I missed P2. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, and we are getting the bulk of our power-ups already. 7 hearts and 7 magic.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Homer just picked up, but it was not the hammer, by the way, because I think, or what did I scatterbrain?
Homer already has the hammer.
Right, nah, that's just me being a scatterbrain. He picked up something else. Looking in two different directions. Cross is what it was, thank you. I remember something flashing on the tracker, but I brain for what it was. Thank you. Whoops. Alright. I think Ellendar is trying to find this Valley of Death. I'm not sure where it is either. It's actually kind of hard to locate and hard to place those things in a canyon biome because there's not a lot of room on the shores of a canyon biome, and squeezing a whole Valley of Death in can be kind of hard for the randomizer to do. I think it's somewhere down south, but we haven't seen it yet.
I'm still a little puzzled why he doesn't just do P1 and get Thunder.
I don't know either. Wanting to perhaps check out this map fully first. This Valley of Death is really eluding him at the moment. I'm not sure where it is either. Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, this is... I guess dig P2 now while you're here.
And on a glove block.
Yeah, pretty much. This one's a pretty nice and easy on the eyes. Dark reddish brown color I don't mind, and the brick pattern's not too terrible. Homer's on Yuma now, taking a death.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be a little bit easier at 555 than it was at 334.
Hopefully, but this Guma rolled up a lot in health, so we'll see. Trails, Homer doing the smarter thing on this tanky Goomba and kind of glitching him into the wall so the base doesn't properly spawn.
Time-consuming, but safe.
Yeah. Here's Helmet Head for Ellendar.
And what a weak one.
Very weak. Goes down in just a couple hits on attack 5.
Oh, and he's burning the crystal despite being pretty close to a level up.
I guess just gonna take Magic 5 here, because yeah, that's what it is. Interesting.
Yeah, I would have, tried to get the level up to Magic 5 and then taken a 6.
Yeah, especially since you're still looking for the item in here at this point. Ellendar wouldn't mind the Key, but would really like the glove at this point.
And Homer did get Gooma down, so that's good. He's actually higher level now. This community room is weird. Key bags on both sides, but you need to have the glove to get them.
Yeah, this one's a funky community room. Homer is continuing in P5 looking for that raft, I assume. We know the raft isn't required to get to the east. We still haven't found a way to Maze Island yet, actually. I'm wondering where that ended up. There may be a raft tile somewhere in the very southernmost portion of Death Mountain, but I've had a bit of a problem with it. But it's been a bit of a tricky time with it. But the canyon mine was throwing a bit of a loop.
And Homer finds the same dead end in P5 that Ellendar found.
Yep. Convenient key drop for Ellendar to go right through this door. And just a P-Mag and P2. Womp
You
womp.
want it. So now we'll do P1, we'll get the child.
And I do think there is a bit of lava I forgot about earlier, just to the west of, just to the west of P1, so that should be the Valley of Death. Who is further ahead? At this point I'd put Ellendar, but they're both fairly close. Ellendar's just done more exploration of the map now. There was a point where Homer had done map exploration, but now Ellendar's the one who's more map exploration, so, yeah, I'd put Ellendar ahead. Good change, though. We'll see.
Ellendar does need to go back and get his trophy at some point to get Reflect.
Correct. He also just needs to beat P3 at some point, so he'll be there eventually. It's very rare in Randomizer that you have a clear answer as to who's ahead, to be fair. There's the child, in T1 for Ellendar, that does give him Thunder. Yeah, with Randomizer being, rando, it can be very hard to tell if someone's ahead because, things could change at any moment. Blood Orange is a fairly accurate description of this P1, actually, yes. P4 is a similar shade of orange.
And Horsehead is pretty easy at attack 5.
That's not really surprising. Ellendar has finally found that raft. Not Ellendar. Homer's finally found that raft as Ellendar places the gem. This should be. Unfortunately, can't get to the raft from this side of the thing, and that's gonna be, life 6. Going to go turn in Thunder before crossing that Valley of Death, I think. That Valley of Death is either just P6 or GP, and we don't know which. It's a 50-50. The other is Maze Island Tree. Still haven't found, despite their best efforts. I'm wondering where the connector is probably in Death Mountain, I think. Ellendar nearly walking back out of the Runia and then realizing, no, that is where it is.
And Homer finally finds that raft, though we still don't know where to use it.
There may be a raft on Death Mountain, but I admittedly am terrible at Death Mountain. The canyons are a little bigger north-south than I was thinking, so I've been thrown for a bit of a loop as to just how far up and down they can go. There is a decent possibility there's a raft on Maze Island, I'll put it that way. To put Homer in a good spot, because that raft took a while to dig out. Homer's going to have fun in this canyon Death Mountain for the moment, though. Why did Automod hold the word Nair? I have no idea. No, genuinely, I'm not sure why that got caught. Red Rock was useless.
It's like how you can't discuss Armos in Zelda 1 or Zelda 3.
Yeah. Or in other games. Armos do turn up in other games, just not as much of a thing. There's a magic jar okay on 3 Red Rocks, not the most useless. Maybe Trails. Is this version of Breath of the Wild, Rando? Not exactly little GFE, though in some ways I guess you could say it's similar.
Hey, and that's a nice short Valley of Death.
Yeah, it tends to be that way in a canyon biome just because there's only so much space in the canyons. And yeah, Homer got through that Death Mountain very quickly. Didn't bother looking for the item, just went straight through. That's GP in Valley of Death, so P6 is over on Maze Island, which Ellendar needs to find a way to get to is a problem. Yeah, canyon biomes tend to be very Depending on if the river is running north, south, or east, west, whichever dimension isn't the river is the other dimension is going to be very narrow because of that how the canyons end up being. So there wasn't much room for the Valley of Death in that canyon biome. Ellendar is now back in P3. Going to dig out a trophy.
That's right. Get the trophy, then you've got P3 and P4 out of the way, and then all you're looking for is, how the heck do I find Maze Island?
Pretty much. So Ellendar is just going to be doing what Homer's already done in P3 here. You know, did Homer beat P4 earlier? I know he doesn't look like it. I'm wondering why, because he got the hammer out of there, I know that much. In any case, we're just seeing some overlap between the two runners as each are doing things they've already done it. Yeah, Ellendar just chose not to pick up jump. It doesn't really make a difference usually. Yeah, let's shoutouts to our runners, Ellendar and Homer, to my co-commentator Drosy, and to our tracker Royale with Cheese, as well as our restreamer VXR. There's the trophy for Ellendar.
Yeah, we need a whole team to put these matches on, and it's great that, you know, I know there was a match earlier today that didn't get a restream, but for the most part, a lot of these matches do get restreams.
Yeah, it's always nice to put people on. We've gotten multiple people their first restreams with this tournament. This is Homer's first restream on ZSR by my personal count. Homer in one of the eastern continents' P-bag caves, which I believe to be, in fact, a P-bag. That or a magic jar, I forget which. Or heart container, actually, I missed that. Whoops. Yeah, nothing super helpful.
I don't remember Rebo being this deep in P3.
Ellendar might have taken a different path from Homer, I suppose.
Because
I think Homer took...
Homer got to Rebo pretty quickly.
Agreed. I think Homer took longer to find the trophy, though, so I think they just took different routes in P3 and ended up finding things in different orders. Would the bronze-colored iron knuckle just be called a bronze knuckle, then, though, Irene? Homer finding Nuka Pseudo now, gonna clean it out.
And there's our necessary flute.
Is the flute necessary? No. Yeah, anyway, brained. Ellendar, that's aloof.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, that sure looks like the original elevator. I think you just need to go right a bit and you come to Rebo.
I think so. It's not that hard to find, I don't think. Ellendar just took a different path and ended up getting looped around. As Homer picks up a spell. Going to get his 7th magic jar here.
Just what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be nice. You know, probably not gonna get to 8, but 7 and 7 is a pretty good place to be.
It is. Mind you, Ellendar sitting on all 8 magic jars.
Oh, it's the 8th.
I think it was also in the east. And what was the room with the falling the curtains on the floor, basically? Yeah, Ellendar just took a wrong path in P3, because here's Rebo very quickly. You go right, you go down, you're done. With the boss, at least.
Oh,
Okay, thanks, Royale. I wasn't sure. as far as before goes, but yeah, the room with the fallen curtains is from the Winter Solstice hack, where, which among other things modified curtains to be the curtains texture and repurposed it for snow. So, but when the hack is put back in, the room is put back into regular Z2, the snow goes back to curtains, so it looks a little funky.
Ellendar taking just a brief moment to decide if he wanted to grind another couple hundred experience to get an attack level, but just takes the magic level.
At this point, Ellendar is pretty comfy with 566. He'll be able to get, should be able to get attack 6 out of P4. And Reflect has been acquired for Ellendar. Now the other thing is, we still haven't found that glove. Which it does have a very high probability of being required in GP, because GP is GP. I wonder where that's ended up. Starting to run low on item locations in the game. We've seen most of the West, we've seen most of the East. We haven't been able to check Spectral Rock. We don't know about the second item in Maze Island, and we don't know the item in P6, obviously. As Homer picks up Jump.
This is kind of annoying with, you know, Maze Island just not being anywhere.
Yeah.
And of course, there's only one connector to it anyway.
Yeah, there can be more than one connector in 4.0, but that's not the case today. With continental connections being anything goes, Strauss, you can have anywhere between 1 and 4 continental connectors on the same continent.
Even Maze Island?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
They really mean it when they say anything goes. And I'm pretty sure that today's Death Mountain has 4 continental connectors in it, since they've seen 2 to the east, 2 caves to the east, bridge to the west, and I think we've seen the east quite I'm pretty sure we've also seen every square inch of the east at this point, so that there has to be a 4th continental connector in Death Mountain to, well, Maze Island. Maze Island only has the 1 today, on the other hand. But yeah, it's anywhere between 1 and 4, depending on how silly the random decides to be. It gets a little dumb sometimes.
Well, there's Ellendar's hammer in any case, so he will be able to start checking those entrances.
Yeah. Yep, Death Mountain Hub does in fact happen every now and then. I've seen these island hubs as well. It's not especially rare. Hey Victor, by the way, in chat. How are you doing?
Actually ran out of keys, I'm surprised, as Homer takes down Helmet Head.
Yeah.
Homer will have to come back here to P4 at some point to beat Karok.
Agreed. I'm not sure what he built out to begin with. He had Reflect then. I wonder if Karok's glove blocked. It is a possibility. I don't think I was paying the most attention at that point, though, since Ellendar was... Yeah, that's a glove block. Karok's glove blocked.
Ooh. Not pleasant. So...
No. And Ellendar, having seen that glove block, is going to go dig P5, hoping it's in here. Unfortunately, we know it's the raft, which
he must have gotten that hint. He must have just forgotten the hint.
Maybe. Actually, no, he might just be looking for the raft because he may have seen a raft tile in Death Mountain, come to think of it. There is a possibility it is the connector, so... And now, this is a BXR seed. Yeah, Xar's not necessarily much of any better than I am. All of us race troopers kind of suck at seed rolling. Yeah, that explains why Homer got out of P4 earlier. He's they're both glove blocked out of it. They can't get to K-Rock. Which means Spectacle Rock, which isn't honestly too bad, I think, with Canyon and Boots. Spectacle Rock, P6, who knows, or Maze Island. But P6 and Maze Island require us to get to Maze Island.
Maybe that raft tile is the answer.
It might be, honestly.
We didn't see Homer use it.
No, at least I think there's a raft tile, but I also could be wrong. We'll see. But yeah, anything goes continental connectors, Drosy, means they can go in any direction, they can be anywhere. Raft tiles still to touch the water, but there's not a ton else restrictions on it. It gets pretty fun. It can be interesting to see the connectors at times. Ellendar seeing that Raft now is gonna make his way around to it. Homer is still looking for the item in P2, I don't think he's gotten the P bag out of here yet, so he might be a bit. Unfortunately it's just the P bag. I think he's looking for the glove, but it's not here. Sadly, we saw Ellendar take a P bag out of here a while ago. And here's the raft for Ellendar.
He sailed over it with the dash spell.
Whee! A little bit too fast. And alright, Ellendar's gonna trek back to Death Mountain and see where it is. Well, gonna check Spectacle Rock, I think, on the way there. And go find and take that continental connector to the east. Yeah, ZSR2's got a Link's Awakening DX journey match, and yeah, that was indeed a raft to the east. But yeah, CSR2 right now has an LADX match going on. CSR3 has Krosky's ALTDPR match starting up soon here between Days God and Windfox. We will be rating one of those two channels once we're done.
That sounds like a good match.
Yeah, Days and Windfox. Actually, yeah, LADX is starting up soon. I mixed up start times. Yeah. Days and Windclown should be a good... Oh, Windfox.
Did you just say Windclown?
No, Windcloud is apparently what I really decided to go with, because it's Days Cloud versus Windfox. You know... Anyway, words are hard. Apologies to both. If they... but yeah, Days Cloud and Windfox will be a good match. Back to this race, though, Ellendar just found the heart container as the other item in Maze Island.
Final heart container.
Yep. I did stay up fairly late last night due to the weekly taking quite a while, as Club knows. But yeah, I'm okay. Just scatterbrain. It happens. So that glove has to be P6 or Spectacle Rock. Ellendar, did Ellendar not get the hint for medicine? Because this is a waste of time, unfortunately. Because even if you know that medicine isn't required, it can be good to check the hint just so you know where not to check. And in this case, Maze Island is where not to check.
Well, he's about to get it anyway.
Yeah, there it is. The any key is the other of the two item locations we haven't seen because that's not shown up either. Not that they've needed it. And, this P6 is also obnoxiously pink.
Well, let's hope the glove's in here, because that would then be go mode.
Yeah, this one's even brighter than the P5, which,
Yeah. Yeep. Oh, found one of the Rebo rooms. Okay, outdoors.
Yep. It is an actual Rebo, because we can get other one. We can have horsehead mini bosses as well. And we can get some glitchy ones where Rebo's riding a Karok spray instead. So there should be an item behind this guy, which is... There's the glove.
Okay, 59-minute go mode for Ellendar. He knows where P4 is, he knows where Great Palace is, he just needs to get through them all.
Yeah, this sounds rather familiar, Clem. Yeah, we've had quite a few glove go mode seeds lately. Buried deep in the sea to glove go moves, to be clear. Though today's map was significantly nicer, at least, than the last two glove go modes.
As Homer takes down Horsehead for his 4th gem.
Nicely done. And is also on a glove hunt, as well as a Maze Island hunt. Does at least have that raft already, so isn't actually all that far behind.
Yeah,
things.
I mean, he just needs to use the raft and he'll basically be caught up.
Yeah, is still going to first dig out this P-bag out of P2, unfortunately, which we know is...
Well, he doesn't know it's not the glove.
Yeah, it's understandable, just not going to help him with the timing. But he's really not that far behind.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, that P-bag was kind of deep, as... Oof, this
Too late of a fairy cast for Ellendar. If he had just hit select as soon as possible, but he hesitated a moment. That is another crazy community room. So, like, who are these people who build those rooms?
Members of the community who decide to be mean, in some cases. I mean, not all the community rooms suck, but some of them are kind of rude, like that one. Like, this one's perfectly nice that Ellendar just went through, and I quite like these open-air rooms. They're really neat to see. As there's this regular open-air room, I think there's a couple variants on the gardens, and then they have custom boss rooms. And as... Oh, that's a child. Homer, I lost track of which palace Homer was in. He just made one. Whoops.
He still needs Thunder. I forgot about that, so you need the child for Thunder.
Yeah, no, I lost track. He already dug out the P-bag. Yeah, he already got the P-bag out of P2. I lost track of which palace he was in. Whoopsies. Yeah, well... Yeah. Chad is making puns and jokes about the bosses. Yeah, 3 knights, a wizard, a giant, and a dragon. Not very even. And so C2R has both rooms from the vanilla game and custom rooms available by the community, and there's a mix of both in each palace. Ellendar taking a death to get, or trying and failing because he's on life 6 and 8 Knight Hearts to get a death for magic. That's not gonna work.
Okay, so Homer now needs to go back to Death Mountain so he can use the raft tile to get to Maze Island.
Correct. I think he's trying to remember where the Death Mountain connector cave is around here, because there is one around here somewhere. I'm just not quite sure where. Might also be checking this Red Rock. And nope, just getting the connector.
Ducked out.
Might be going for the other connector, because there are 2, and he might be going for the other one. I don't actually know.
But Ellendar has now found Barba in one of his beautiful scenic outdoor locations. You know, those lava baths are much more comfortable when you can, look up at a nice blue sky.
We're just lucky that even with all this open air, Volvagia apparently is afraid of heights. Volvagia, Barba, you know.
I just realized Homer hasn't been through the Valley of Death yet. He doesn't know that GP's vanilla.
No, I was about to say that actually, yeah, when I remembered as well when right as Barba turned up for Ellendar, but yeah. So he's gonna get the bad news that GP is here. Yeah, sunburns to go with lava birds. And Homer's out. Yeah, because this Valley of Death is a little annoying, because in a canyon biome you don't want to go super far away from the river, but this Valley of Death was pretty far from the river.
And down goes Barba, gem number 5.
And Ellendar just needs to go beat Karok and go to GP.
And mercifully, we are playing with short GP settings.
Yeah. Short is, of course, relative, but yes, short GP.
It's interesting that Magic 7 came before Attack 6. Life 7 before Attack 6, I wouldn't be surprised, but Magic 7's a little unusual.
Yeah, that happens sometimes with the game. Homer is back in Death Mountain and is going to go wander on down. All the way down the river. And go take this raft tile to Maze Island. Yeah, hey Starful. Yeah, this is another one of those full clear the seed looking for gloves. Full clear the game looking for glove seeds. Though this one's map was generally kinder. Though you still had to dig the raft down to P5 to get to Maze Island, but it could have been worse as far as maps went. Homer going through Maze Island looking for the first item. If he remembers his medicine hint, he won't need to dig out the medicine out here as well. If he can find the heart container in here before the medicine, and then he just needs to go beat P6 and get the glove from it. Homer's also got a lot of health and magic since it's been this kind of seed. And here's the heart container for Homer. He's up to all 8 hearts. And all 8 magic jars. And, maybe he has forgotten the medicine hint, because he's also looking for the second item here. Guys, I know one of you saw the medicine hint, and you... it is easy to forget admittedly after close to an hour after seeing the hint, but it is... But, whichever one of them read the hint, I don't know if it was both, but I know at least one did, because we saw it. Could have skipped finding the item in here, knowing that it was just a medicine they don't need, or just a shield spell. Ellendar is back in this glove block room and is now going to go look for Karok. As Homer heads into P6. And here's Karok.
And easiest boss in the game.
And that's Ellendar's final gem placed.
Now we just have to see how short GP is.
Yeah, short is relative. It's still a large palace. It's the largest in the game.
And meanwhile, Homer just needs to... I don't know if it's the relative lighting on his screen or what, but the color of P6 doesn't look quite as offensive as it did on Ellendar's screen.
His screen is a bit darker, correct? Than Ellendar's, I believe.
Okay, and here we are with the cool music and everything.
I do quite enjoy Zelda 2's music.
The only problem with the Great Palace music is when you have a really long Great Palace music, you can get tired of it.
Yeah. I mean, that goes for any music in any game, really, or just generally, if you listen to any music for too long, you will get a bit tired of it.
Yeah, well, when you're listening to this for half an hour straight, it starts getting tiresome.
Yes, it does. This first waffle room is nice and easy, just a couple bubbles in it, nothing too bad on the life 6 and 8 heart containers. Homer's probably going to end up on 677, I'd expect. And I was going to say, Ellendar, I'm fairly sure that's a dead end.
Yeah, that was just kind of funny how, like, the fairy music screeched as he did the save and quit.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely do not know all these community rooms, so I don't necessarily know which are going to be dead ends.
That one's just a reversed version of the regular dead end. There is at least one. Oh, hi, upstab block. There is at least one dead end. One of the ones like a bajillion blocks in it, basically.
And nothing like a spicy chicken firing at you from before the upstab block.
Yeah, but there is one specific community. There is a typical dead end that has a community room variant with it that's not a dead end, so you actually have to walk all the way through it. It's one with like a humongous pile of breakable blocks and like a couple keys in among all the blocks, basically. That one can have both a dead end and a non-dead end variant, but I think that's the only vanilla dead end that has a community room that's a go-through one. Sentences are kind of hard. It makes more sense when you see the actual room in question, to be fair.
Gets the fairy off in time, good. And here's Thunderbird.
Pretty quick. Unfortunately, that means there's going to be multiple paths after Thunderbird.
I admire anyone who can do Thunderbird without the jump spell.
Homer still on P6, has at least managed to dig up the glove, still needs to find Barba. And that's T-Bird down for Ellendar.
Well, let's see if we can find Dark Link.
Yep. GP is a nice and easy on the eyes here, dark shade of greenish blue. Or bluish green. Whoops.
Oh, a chicken knight and a spicy chicken on top of each other.
Ah, chickens galore. And another curtain room here.
The curtain rooms GP really mess with you because you expect them to be something, and the most they ever are is one of those giant anti-fairies.
Yeah, pretty much. They're not anti-fairies in this game, they're just giant bubbles. I think. Well. Alright, it decides to not go left up and left there just yet, gonna head right further. Finds another spicy chicken. And there's Barba for Homer. That big fairy's just gotten stuck in the wall. Gotta love when that happens in this game. And we just randomly get stuck in walls. And you get jump scared by big bots like this. Little bots are taking a zillion hits. Don't. It's a recommendation. Because that took a lot of hits to take down one of those bots. Those really rolled up. That is not normal.
It is worth noting that Ellendar is out of magic at relatively low life and on his next to last life, so he can only afford to die once before he has to do this all over again.
He's on 676. I'm not too concerned.
Here we go.
There's Dark Link right as Homer replaces his 5th gem.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. Even if he takes a death here, then he'll be back at full health. He's got this. As Homer goes back to finish off Karok.
Yep.
And get your GGs in for Ellendar.
GG's.
Finishes with an official time of 1:16:40.
We'll see if we can get him in for an interview as Homer goes to P4. Should be done with this fairly quickly, and Ellendar will be joining us in a minute. And hey, Ellendar. GG.
Hey, GG. That was a seed.
Yeah, it was. A lot of back and forth.
Yeah, I think I was torn on whether to dig out the raft in 5. Because the only connector I knew was to Death Mountain, and I had the boots by then, so I'm like, okay, well, probably I can connect her out of Death Mountain. And at that point, the raft being required is maybe 50-50. And not getting that raft was just... It caused everything to, if I had the raft, I could have gotten the glove pretty much right away, and then at that point I probably wouldn't have cleared as much overworld and just started doing pure dungeons, and I think I might not have 100%ed the seed if I had grabbed that raft right away. That was probably the critical moment. But aside from that, I mean, I avoided game overs, and that's the important part.
Definitely. Your opponent got the raft and didn't use it, and that's how you still won.
Oh yeah, because there were 2. If you found that first Death Mountain cave exit, you wouldn't have known that the raft was required for quite some time.
Yeah, I got a little confused. It's hard to tell the difference sometimes if it's a raft or just a regular old bridge.
Yeah, the bridge led to Death Mountain, and then I ended up finding one pass through from Death Mountain to east that was all the way in the south and took me a bunch of time. And then immediately found the other pass through was right next to the start, and I could have saved all that digging.
Yeah, I had to check to see there were 2 connector caves between East and Death Mountain.
Yeah, but as soon as I found that, I knew raft was required, and I'm like, oh no. And then I thought, well, at least I have to go back for 4 once I get Reflect. So I'll do everything I can. I'll get Reflect, and then I'll pick up raft on the way back to 4, and then of course 4 was glove locked.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, one of those ones.
Well, you were certainly very thorough with West Hyrule before you even went to Death Mountain.
Yeah, I didn't want to go to Death Mountain.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Homer was
I was hoping
same.
there was another pass through, but
yeah, no such luck. Homer was much the same because you generally don't want to dig Death Mountain. Although, admittedly, to the Canyon Death Mountains with boots really aren't that bad because you could just walk on the water to get most everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. But I was gonna, at the very least, make sure I found everything in the west before trying to dig Death Mountain.
Yeah, fair enough. Homer, now back in the east, is going to go over to Valley of Death. That Valley of Death took a little bit to locate, too, because it was so far from the river.
Yeah, it turned out to be pretty nice, though. Only one encounter on the way in.
It wasn't too bad. Valleys of Death tend to be shorter in canyon biomes just because there's not a whole lot of room to fit them in.
That makes sense.
Because canyons, we saw this in both the East and in Death Mountain. The river either runs north, south, or east, west, and whichever direction isn't the river ends up being pretty narrow usually, especially because much of the room is taken up by the river, so the actual coasts are pretty small. They're great with boots, and they kind of suck with that.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes you're taking pass-throughs back and forth across the river.
Yeah, and you're just constantly taking bridges and bridge encounters. It's fun.
That would have been really bad here, too, because you had to go all the way north to get the flute and Darunia, but then also you had to go all the way south for the dungeons, so you would have been backtracking back and forth a bit.
Yeah. Canyons with boots are probably still nicer than canyons without boots are still nicer than islands without boots, at least, since they're a bit more compact. Island biomes can get really fun, or just bad, honestly. Sans boots.
It looked like homerjsmash just saved and quit out of what I think was the right direction to Thunderbird.
No, he just saved quit out of the dead end at Ellendar walks all the way through.
Oh, okay. I misremembered then.
Yeah, no,
I had
that was
never,
the dead end.
I had never seen that left-facing dead end room, like that particular one. And I know it's a mirror of a right-facing one, but I really wanted to check it just to make sure it wasn't a troll.
I mean, that's fair enough. There is a different dead end. I think it's one of the ones native to P2 or something. There's like a bajillion blocks and like a couple keys in the thing. Anyway, there is another one that has a river that has both the vanilla dead end and a community room that ends up looking like the vanilla dead end until you walk all the way through and find out, oh, there's a connector on the other end of this. Okay, that one's a real troll. Yeah, GG's this seed was a pretty kind one. Not a terrible one, at least. We've seen quite a few last location, full clear the seed for it glove seeds lately. The weekly and one of the first restreams of the tournament both had it as well.
Yeah, I don't feel like they're as common in this flag set, but they certainly have come up a bunch lately.
Yes, they have. The map at least was nicer than the previous two seeds with the last location glove. Not the greatest map in the world, but it was definitely nicer than some of the others.
Yeah, the nice thing on this one, I think, is that there was a lot of like fairly long routes you could need to take to get to a place, but North Palace was like pretty central to all of that. And so if you ever wanted to get anywhere, it wasn't too far from a reset to getting where you needed to be.
Yeah. Definitely had to dig out the palaces quite a bit for the items. They were pretty buried for the most part. Well, either the item or the boss, one or the other, ended up being very deep in most of the palaces, I think.
I think the only palace that had a dungeon really close to start was the one that had the heart container.
I think so.
Well, it's about ready to take down Thunderbird here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty squishy on attack 6 today. Guma was a real troll, though. I think you run an attack 3.
Yeah, you did quite a few stabs at him and got him on your last life, as I recall.
Yeah, I think I might have had one. I definitely my last life, but I think I might have had one cast of life left. But yeah, the only reason I win, usually I won't go into 5 there, especially knowing 4's there, and I'm going to have to backtrack anyway. But the fact that the raft was there made me want to dip in, because I'm like, well, if I find the raft, great. If I find the boss, I can at least give it a try. And if I took a game over there, I was just going to leave, because I was not about to run all the way back there. I would have just come back later when I did 4. But yeah, I eventually got it. It was like 30-something stabs. I lost count towards the end.
It was something absurd, yeah.
At least 30.
Yeah. I usually, when I'm doing low attack Barba, I will count the number of stabs to get sort of a rough idea from watching his health bar how far I have to go. So if I still have a decent amount of life towards the end, I can start getting aggressive instead of playing safe, because I was trying to play it as safe as I could, because I'm not great at attack 3 Barba, but it worked out eventually. Glad. Especially because the path to the item in 5 was like the complete opposite direction.
Yeah, that took a while to track down. Homer, I think, ended up going to the east later than you. Had a bit of a different exploration in the west, actually. So you know how the southeastern and southwestern portions of the map were entirely separate?
Yeah, you had to cross the river to get there.
Yeah, you found the southwest, Homer found the southeast.
Oh,
and then you kind of high-fived when you went across Saria.
The boots were down in the southeast, so I would have had to...
No, there was a connector cave that got you down there. Homer took it.
Oh, I just missed a connect. Okay. I was pretty sure I looped through from the southeast, because there was 2 connector caves from the northeast to the southeast. One of them was Jump Cave, And that ended up being hammer blocked. And then the other one was the drop cave that normally leads to Vanilla 3.
And hey, we've got Homer on Dark Link here, so it should be about a 12-minute difference at the end of the day.
Yeah, not too shabby. Still a sub 130. Yeah, GG's to Homer. 128.31. sub 130 and not quite 100%. Very close to it though. Both of you cleared up most of the seed.
You found the any key. Or the
Well, I knew where it was, but I wasn't about to go get it at that point.
No. Process of elimination, it had to be in Spectacle Rock. We saw every other item check in the game, I'm pretty sure.
I don't even know where Spectacle Rock was. I had traversed the whole river and it wasn't near it, so it must have been like in the southwest corner or something.
Probably. Hey Homer, GG's.
Hey, thanks.
Hey, GG's.
GG Ellendar, nice match.
Yeah, I guess the big thing for you was you kind of kept away from Death Mountain for a while and then didn't try the raft there for quite a while.
Yep, late maze for sure. Was really costly, and then my idiocy and P3 early. I would say those two things for sure really cost me. But I mean, I didn't go into this expecting to beat him at all, so I was just trying to stay competitive. Just a little frustrated with my play in P3. Otherwise, I didn't think I did that bad. Still pretty new, so I'll take it.
Yeah, it was a solid play. And yeah, I gather this is your first restream here on ZSR, so GG's on that.
I think I was actually in a weekly a month or so ago, but yeah, this is my first tournament. I've only been playing this game for a couple of months now, something like that, 2 months maybe. And I'm not 100% sure that I actually even like it. but there's the seed was actually pretty nice. The drops that you got were pretty generous. I was able to get up to the levels that I'm pretty comfortable in early. We had fairy immediately, downstab immediately, so it was pretty easy in a lot of ways. GP was not difficult at all. So yeah, it was definitely there for the taking. Just took my time doing it. What can you say?
Well, you both got plenty of games ahead of you. This was the first game of any sort in your group of 5 round robin, so definitely got a lot more chances in the next few weeks.
Yep, absolutely. I'm looking forward to just kind of having some more fun with what the seeds give us. I'd like to say thanks for the restream, and GG's to Ellendar. You guys have a great night. I really appreciate the time and effort all this goes into it.
I guess we can wrap things up here. Let's see here. Make sure to give our runners a follow, Ellendar and homerjsmash. Oh. Thank you to Star and Drosky for commentary, and thank you to Royale with Cheese for tracking. So, tonight we have on this channel Majora's Mask Randomizer Season 2 Tournament Qualifier number 9 at 11 p.m. Eastern, and then at 1 a.m. Eastern, assuming we get volunteers for it, a Wind Waker Randomizer Challenge Cup match. Tomorrow we got a lot of stuff on the schedule. 5 Wind Waker Randomizer matches, 4 from the Challenge Cup and 1 from the top 24 tentatively scheduled. Let's see, the top 24 matches at 2 p.m. We'll definitely do that. The other ones, 1 at noon, 1 at 4, and 2 at 7 will depend on volunteer availability. Majora's Mask Randomizer Qualifier 10 is also tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, and a Link's Awakening DX Any Percent Tournament races at 3:30 Eastern. And a couple Z2R matches on the schedule tomorrow night, 1 at 10 p.m. Eastern between the Countess and Kulain, and another 10:30 p.m. Eastern between Chroma and Niram. Of course, that'll depend on volunteer availability, but we'll try to get those on. So we're gonna go raid CSR 3 doing cross keys. So see you all time.
Thanks for watching.